Hey you guys, it's Christina, and I am so happy and blessed today to be here with my Jado, who is my grandfather. And as many of you might know, he recently recovered from COVID-19 at 97 years old, and I just feel so blessed to have him here in good health with me today to share his experience with us, and just to share a little bit about what he's gone through and how he's recovered, a little bit about his life. And yeah, we've waited till he's gotten better to be able to share this good news, but there's just so much bad news out there. We wanted to share something positive with you and some inspiration to help all of us get through this really challenging time. So Jado, I'm so happy you're here with us. You are just the most wonderful human. He's been my hero my whole life, and
it's an honor and a pleasure to be next to two beautiful ladies.
My sister is behind the camera. Yeah. My grandfather is one of the biggest inspirations in my life. He's my hero. Not only is he a 4-time cancer survivor, but also he fought in World War II. He's been through so much in his life, as he's gonna share with us, and he's been married to my grandmother for 68 years. And now he's a COVID-19 survivor, a true inspiration. So I'm just excited to be able to share him with you.
Thank you.
Well, let's give everybody a brief update. Around March 13th-ish, it was 2 days after my birthday, because that's when I saw you.
Okay.
My grandmother went into the ER with my aunt, and we believe that's where they picked it up, and when they brought it back home, we think that's how Jado got it. Yeah. And maybe about 8 or 9 days later, he was home and he collapsed. And is that right? You collapsed and he blacked out, and my uncle took him to the emergency room, where he was then transferred to the COVID unit at Methodist Hospital. And did I have that right? He had 103 fever. My grandmother also had 103 fever. My uncle also got the virus as well. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah.
So Jado, what was your experience like in the COVID unit?
It was kind of really weird, difficult, and really wasn't aware of what had taken place. I was really kind of shocked that I was in a hospital, and then they would put me in a room, and there was nothing in there. That I guess that was after I ever had been there a while, and I opened the door and went out into the hall, and I saw nurses going back and forth, and 2 people were on the floor. They were very sick. There was people all over the place, and they saw me and they pushed me back into the room, and then eventually I was taken. After that, the next morning, they took me into another place in the hospital, another room, and I stayed there, I guess, for a while. And then after that, then they take me to another room, and I stayed there, I guess, a week. Another week was the other one. About 3 weeks altogether, maybe more, I don't know.
Well, I remember when you first got transferred into the COVID unit, do you remember you told me that they were wheeling people out of there that had passed, and that's something that you saw that was...
Not only taken out, there were 2 of them had died in there, and there must have been a preacher there. I heard them praying for one of the dead to my left, and then there was one to the right that would, and then while they were pushing me back, I heard the nurses run into another room. I wasn't aware of all of that until a little bit later, and when I found out what was going on.
But you were strong enough to be able to walk, right?
I did.
At some point, but
yeah.
You were also on oxygen too.
Oxygen, but when I went to the other room, I was in bed for at least a week or 2.
Yeah. Well, so glad
it
you're
was
feeling
weird.
good. It was, yeah. I
weird and frightening, and say, my God, what is going on there?
Well, yeah. I mean, so what was it like on this floor? Was everybody wearing masks and everything around?
Yeah, all those. And then the doctors would come in every morning and evening, would come to and give you the medicine or do something. And then they'd leave, and that every day, there was 3, 4, 5 nurses would come in during the day, and you would take that medication, and then I can't remember how they fed us. We didn't hardly eat much of anything. It was some light stuff. And the most unusual, and the thing that's kind of frightening to me, is that I passed out and I went to the hospital, and to this day, I can't think about it. I can't even remember it. I don't recall ever doing it.
Right.
That was a strange thing about it.
I think something that's important to note is that before this experience, you didn't have any pre-existing major health condition. You've been so healthy. You were dancing with me right before my birthday, right?
I love to dance, and we dance together. Yeah,
yes,
anytime I can get good music, and I'm gonna still do it. Now, don't take that time.
So how has the virus affected you after? Now I know it's taken you weeks to recover. You were very weak after.
Months. We still fighting. They're very slow of getting the strength back that you were looking for when you were real. Before you had this, man, you could do anything, move around, all that. But this slowed you down quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, you're so strong. And so what would you say has been very helpful for you in your recovery? Like, what have you been doing to help you recover faster and stay healthy?
Well, I think people like you and your sister and all the family, and of course the church would make an effort to come in, but they wouldn't allow anybody to come to the church, to the hospital. All the time I was there, nobody outside of the people at the hospital was allowed to come.
Right, no visitors were allowed to come see you. We couldn't go and see
Nobody.
Right.
Couldn't even get any phone calls either.
Well, we called you.
Well, after the first, it took a couple of weeks, I guess, whatever it was. Can't remember all of it because I didn't know for a while where the heck I was.
Yeah. Well, you've also been, now that you're home, you've been drinking a lot of green juices. You've been eating a lot of fruit, a lot of watermelon and cantaloupe. I saw you had a delicious cabbage salad and cauliflower yesterday, right? That was good.
The food is good now.
Yeah, the food is good now. You've also been taking lots of supplements. Remember, I got you. What supplements have you been on? You've been on vitamin D, extra vitamin C.
You could have to remember that.
I know. We got you an an air purifier, an iron ionizer for your room at night to help you and Nana breathe better. I know we've done a lot of stuff to help them get through this.
I'm ready to try to get back to dancing and going and doing a lot of work to help people who need help. And of course, I'm going to church, and I've done that for all my life and helped serve a lot of people. But anything you can do to help people is important to me.
Yes.
And that's been my life. And after I got sick here, I have gotten called. I am shocked and excited that people, thousands, I won't say thousands, but hundreds of people have called and want to find out about me. I'm shocked. I'm excited to do the things that I can do for anybody.
Thank you. You're excited to get back to
I'm
what you were doing before.
We want to dance and sing and all that.
You want to dance and sing. Jado, you've lived an amazing life, right? 3-time cancer survivor. You fought in a world, 4-time cancer survivor or 3-time? 4-time cancer survivor. My sister just, wow. Fought in World War II.
Yeah, and I had to take my stomach out
Oh my gosh.
Got just a little bit left.
And you've been married to Nana for 68 years now. Is that the most challenging out of all of them?
That's a tough one.
That's funny.
Yeah, you think that the man is the leader, and that's wrong. Once you get married, boy, you had it.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing real great, Jadon. You've led such a beautiful example for so many of us, especially all your grandkids. We love you so much.
I want to thank all those good people in the world who are willing to help other people, and for the kindness that they have did in calling not only just me, people who are sick. And I want to thank all my family and everybody in my family who have done everything they could.
And the Great Depression. Do you feel like today feels like that to you?
Oh yeah, and I'll talk to you about it. I was about six years old. We'd walk to town, which is about 3 miles, and we'd go try to sell papers. And then we made 2 cents, maybe 3 cents together, my uncle and I. And that's what then we'd go back home. It's about 2 miles, 3 miles we'd walk, either there and back home. And sometime in those days, you could put your hand like that and ask for a ride, and they'll stop. There wasn't that many cars, but boy, they would stop, pick you up, take you to town.
In Jadot, I remember you saying that you used to sell newspapers on the side of the road, right? Yes. And that's when one of the mayors actually gave you your first pair of shoes.
Went up to Mr. Holcomb, and we were going to give him a paper. And he said, no, I already got one. And we were sitting there in a cross, maybe, whatever it is. And Mr. Holcomb looked. He said, what is that? I said, that's my shoe. He said, there's no shoes. So he called his secretary, told him, take these 2 boys down and buy them a pair of shoes each. And they did. And we went back several times and thanked him. So that's the first time I ever had a pair of shoes.
That's beautiful. Imagine that. And you were 6 or 7 years old then, right?
Yeah, somewhere.
So 6 years old, he was selling newspapers on the side of the road, and his first pair of shoes was gifted to him by a stranger. By the mayor, Mayor Holcomb.
Mayor Holcomb, yeah. We'd make about 3 cents, 2 cents. One time I came home at night. Most of it was at night, and I rushed home and got into the house, and I said, I have 3 cents. And when I took it out, it was only 2. What happened? And I said, I must have lost it. My daddy said, you go out and try to find it.
That 1 cent.
And so I went out, the whole family went out, and in about 5 or 10 minutes, I found a darn penny out there, and we run back to the house, and so we bought to go into a store, picked up. You can buy 2, 3 pieces of food for a penny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what we did.
3 cents could feed his whole family.
Yeah.
And how many siblings did you have, Jadot?
Do what, honey?
How many brothers and sisters do you have, Jadot?
I had 1 sister who's older than I, 4 brothers, and myself 5, 6 in the family.
We're Lebanese proud.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Not only Lebanese crowd, and we thank the good Lord that we have been given the pleasure and to come to be alive and to help people. The main thing you should do, in addition to what you work, is to help other people if you can, because everybody is not the same, and some people can do things that other people can't. And I've always believed in trying to help other people if you can. My mother would get 2, 3 little bitty flowers, and she would sew them together, and then my uncle and I would go to town and we'd sell flowers, and we used to sneak in with newspapers, and try to sell them, and sometimes they'd push you out, rush you out, but we always would try to work to make some money so we can do the things that we need to do.
You've been working since you were 6 years old, and I think people should know you still go to the office every day at 97 years old. He drives himself to the office and home and goes to work every day because he really believes in keeping himself active and keeping his mind active.
Got to do that.
Got to do that. Yeah.
And I appreciate my people that I'm sitting next to, beautiful granddaughters, and I hope and pray that y'all have a good life that makes you happy, and that's about it.
There are a lot of people who really need hope right now. What is something that you would share with others that would give them hope right now, since times are very challenging and you've overcome a lot? Like, even just your story is just beautiful.
The only thing I could say right now is that you do everything you can to help other people, whether if you got money or things like that where you can give them, fine. And if you don't have it, you can try to help people to do some things that they can't do. And I think that's important, and that's the way I was grown up. You help other people, and you'll be rewarded in the long run, I'm sure. So that's.
Thank you. Shado, thank you for sharing this time with
and your sister.
Yeah, and my sister who's here. Thank you for sharing this time with us. We love you. We're so happy you've recovered.
And I'm excited for this. I'm glad that I can have the opportunity to thank people who helped me, maybe not just for this sickness that I had now, but through our lives that were, in World War II, we were 3 years overseas. That was a tough deal, but coming back home, we worked to help other people and work together, and that to me is important, and the good Lord gives you that opportunity, and we take advantage of it, and here we are.
Thank you all so much for joining us today. If you've liked this video, give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, because there's only more to come. And Shado's gonna get better so we can dance pretty soon, right, Shado?
Yeah,
we already know what we're gonna dance to. We got some Celine Dion and Shania Twain on the way, right?
Okay.
Yeah, is that right?
Play the music and we'll dance to it.
Yes, so thank you all so much for joining us. We love you, we thank you, and we hope that this video has brightened your day in some way. Much love. Bye.
God bless everybody. Thank you.